Hello and welcome back to 101 Ways to Beat Depression. I'm Matt, and today we're going to be talking about resistance, which is quite integral to what we're doing. If you recall, we want to be experimenting on ourselves by changing our habits, reflecting on the results of our consistent 30 days of doing whatever habit it is, reflecting on that and determining whether we want to keep it because it's working, because we're in flow, which we'll talk about, and getting rid of the stuff that we feel resistant to, that isn't working, that just completely is unworkable for us, which we put away. We don't want to do that. So what is resistance? I guess it's easier to say it's a feeling. We've probably all had it when we do something that just feels so tough. We maybe feel it inside, maybe feel it mentally, maybe it feels like a strain, a stress. The feeling that best is described as overwhelming struggle, in my opinion. Now, everything has resistance. And resistance generally comes from change. When there is some kind of change in our lives is when we tend to feel resistance. Now, there's definitely a spectrum of resistance. It's not necessarily all resistance feels as tough as another, in the same way that, say, lifting a weight in the gym. A heavier weight, more resistance. A lower weight, less resistance. There's resistance, but there's resistance that you are more capable of coping with. So why aren't I telling you to just push through? You know, if you're finding something really tough, but it's good for you and it's potentially going to help you, why don't I just say, just push through. Just keep slamming your head against that wall. It'll crumble eventually. You'll make it through. Well, I don't see why you need to suffer. I don't see why you need to waste time. I don't see why you want to do that anyway, because you can get in a worse place. You can injure yourself in some ways. Again, we go back to exercise and working out and fitness. You can get injured if you do too much. You can get injured if you're lifting weights you can't lift. So I don't want you to be doing things that you can't cope with. And that's the whole point of this experiment. We're going to be finding out what you can cope with. We're going to be seeing what habits you can cope with and develop, and what you can't. Where's your level at? We don't want you to be doing something that you just cannot do. We don't want you to be going backwards. We want to go forwards, and we want to go forwards in a way that feels easy, which is where the kind of idea of flow state comes in. Now, I don't expect you to be in flow state, and by flow state, it's usually a term associated with a lot of high performance athletes. It's that state where you kind of get so immersed in something that everything fades away. It just becomes easy. You just become focused, and your actions are just pure doing. You know, you've probably had that before. Maybe there's something you've done in your life, maybe at work or home or a hobby, where you just completely got engrossed in it and time just flies. Now, I don't need you, and you don't need to be in flow when you do things. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, because there will always be resistance in what we're doing, we want to find out where our level is at. And when we talk about flow, the idea is where challenge balances with the skill set. Now, everything that we will be doing, the changes we make, you'll get resistance. It will have a challenge. The question we're trying to find out, and you're trying to find out by yourself, is where are you at? Where is your skill set? And by skill set, I'm totally referring to where you are up here, what you can cope with. And we're going to find that out. And you're going to lean into the challenge that you can cope with. And when you do that 30 days and you've lent in and it has improved your life, it has improved your mood, you're going to continue that habit because it's at the right level for you. But if you lean into it and you find, I'm not at that level, I can't lift that weight, I can't do that habit, I can't create that habit, then we're going to put that on the back burner. We'll come back to it. You know, at some point, you might get to a point where things are easier. So that thing that felt super resistant, maybe later on will feel less resistant, and you'll be able to do it. And it will help you at that point. But for now, we want to find out what we can do. So again, just to make it clear, we talk about weights again. If you're lifting doing a bicep curl of say 10 kilograms, that's probably easy. Maybe not a challenge. Maybe put to 15. And you go, okay, that's something I can do. That's within my capability. You know, I'm getting the benefit, but I'm not overstraining, I'm not getting injured. But if I was to say, you know, do 25 kilograms on one arm, you know, do a bicep curl, do 12 to 15, 4 sets, something like that. You might be able to do it. Obviously, if you're really strong, think of differentials here. But likely it's going to be super painful and you'll probably get injured and you might not get that growth. You might overtrain. So again, where is that challenge that fits your level? That's what we want. We don't want to go jump up to the big guns so out of our comprehension right now and capability. So like I said, you can push through. Lots of people do, lots of people advocate it. But you know, you've got to think at what cost? Why do you want a life with more struggle? You're in enough pain. You've got enough going on. Why don't we make this easier? Why don't we work with ourselves than against it? You are capable of so much, but we need to progress. We need to take things at one step at a time. You need to learn about who you are, understand who you are, understand what you can do. And this is all part of what I'm trying to say in these videos. It's that we're experimenting on ourselves to understand what works for us and what doesn't, what we can do and what we can't. And by doing that, we're leaning into that challenge that we're capable of. We're progressing sustainably and in a manner that feels easier and less painful. And that's what you need. You don't need more pain. Everything requires work, but we don't want to make it too much work. And like I said, in time, you will get more capable. You will get stronger. You'll get mentally stronger. Your life situation is going to get better. And those things you couldn't do, you'll come back to and try again, because they are positive things. Everything that we are going to talk about in terms of the habits that I'm going to put forward to you in later videos are all positive. They should, on paper, help everyone. They're good things to do. They improve your quality of life. They improve your mental health. But what I'm saying is you might not be in the position to actually undertake those, to make them part of your life. And so we're going to do what we can, and then we can come back later when we feel better, when we're in a better place, and try them again. And you know what? That heavy resistant habit that you struggled for 30 days and felt like hell might feel as easy as those habits that you felt were a breeze. And that's great. That'll show you how you're progressing. That'll show how much stronger you're getting. So in summary, we don't want hard resistance. We want to work with ourselves, not against it. We're going to accept that there will be challenge and some resistance, but we will know the difference between what resistance is on our level, on our capability, and what is not. And then, as I've touched on in the earlier videos, we do this habit, and a lot of them are 30 days consecutively. And when we get to that point, we are going to reflect on what took place, our results, the resistance, and then we are going to make the call whether we keep that habit going and make it into a full habit and make it part of our mental health toolkit, our system, our sustainable system, or we put it on the back burner because we're not ready for it. And that's going to be, like I said, a much more enjoyable and sustainable way of doing things. And I want to make it clear that we're not thinking about outcome when we do all these things. We're thinking about the process. And you might have heard that before, and it's like, what's the process? Everyone says the process. It's the doing itself. It's the focusing on accepting a challenge, leaning into it, not looking for a result, just looking for the doing. You're just going to do. Like I said, imagine you're the experiment. You don't know the results. You're going to find out. You take the pressure off and just focus on doing those habits day by day, one day at a time, and have that growth mindset. Another word you might hear. Growth mindset, what's that? Well, in my view, in the simple terms, it's what we've been talking about. These obstacles, these challenges, we should see as opportunities. Opportunities to grow, to develop, to get better. And that's exactly what you're doing right now. Exactly what we're going to be doing with this channel. You are going to be growing, learning, developing, improving. It's all for the best. So when you feel like this is tough, I don't want to do this. I want to do this every day. Why isn't this working? Change that mindset. Just say, nope, I enjoy this obstacle. This is a challenge. This is me growing. This is exciting because I'm making my life better. And after these 30 days, I'm gonna have a look, I'm gonna understand myself, I'm gonna see the results then. For now, just gonna do it. Just gonna plod along day by day, trusting that if I do the right things, there will be some result at the end. And there will, which is the beauty of it. So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully you're more on board and you're accepting of challenges that you're going to face and how you're going to deal with them and how you're going to differentiate them, and why we want to have that attitude of not pushing through hard resistance. So that's all from me for today. So thank you if you've got to the end of the video. Really appreciate you watching. If you like the video, please subscribe, it really helps the channel, and please comment on the video. And there's loads of stuff in the description if you want to go to my website, if you want to purchase my ebook, which is the 101 Ways to Beat Depression, which is a practical manual, which will basically have 101 calls to action to get you going. So all these habits that I've been referring to that we've not got to, they're all in there, and they will very much synchronize with all the content I'm going to be giving you on this channel. So you have the book and you're watching this, it's going to be really great for you. And of course I have all sorts of stuff on there, there's coaching and other things like that, and it's all up to you. And yeah, I hope you come back for the next video. There's more to discuss, there's more in this process. I know it's kind of slow, we will get to the habits, but I think it's important to kind of explain each part of this process, this experimentation, just be clear so you understand why we're doing it. You know, why? Really important questions. You need to have a why, you need to have a meaning for things. Meaning is so important, it's a great motivator. So yeah, that's me for today. I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. See ya.